All right, let's talk about how the Detroit Lions should handle how they should handle their wide receiver situation uh, this offseason. Now, people saying in the comment section make excuses for Goss last year, saying he had nobody to throw to, and that's why he was bad, and this, that, and the third. And like I said before, Ben, um, they used to make the same excuses for Matt Stafford. Aaron Rodgers won the game versus an undefeated Arizona team that was hot this season with uh with none of his top receivers, bro. So that's not an excuse for making all that money play. And now people saying that Malik Willis ain't people not saying that Malik they don't want Malik Willis because he they saying that it's not because Malik Willis is black. So Mark Arm hopped on to the Twitter last night and said it, and my man's responded to him. And I'm just like, it's not saying that your reason isn't. We not going to individual case, but we know what it is. We know what it is, bro. We know what time people be on. You can tell. We're not saying that's the general consensus. I hate to generalize, but you know how it go. There are people out there who don't want him because he's black, and there are people that don't want him because analysts say that they dictate, the media dictate what you think. All these dudes are not good enough to go high or whatever the situation may be. Well, for they told us last year was the they told us last year was the top draft class, could be a top draft class for quarterbacks in a long time. And what happened? What happened, bro? They all was trash. Nobody talking about that, bro. A lot of people are saying we can wait till next year to get a quarterback and this, that, the third, and next year this quarterback class supposed to be Spencer Rattler, Sam Howell supposed to be better than last year's. That was a high commodity. And guess what happened? It's this. But people think because the media tell you that the class ain't good enough that that's the end all be all. Use your own eyes. That's all I'm saying. Like was a guy in the conversation last night was saying that you know oh Willis is not number two. I'm like, okay, why not? Why ain't he worth number two? I just want to know why. I'm not saying he is. I haven't done enough film study to say yes or no. I just want to know your reason. He said just because he's not. I'm like, bro, you ain't did no homework, no film study, and you giving opinions. Most opinions are uneducated, and that's why people don't jump on to educate to articulate their opinion. And to me, you should. To me, you should, bro. Like, if you did the homework, like I said before, y'all, a lot of y'all was the same one screaming for a Kudo, and I told y'all to get the quarterback. But like I said before, how they handle this is, like I said before, it don't matter if you get the number one receiver in the league. Goff is trash. He don't even have no throwing power, bro. I was watching him, man. He can't even flick the ball no more, bro. He don't have no arm, bro. The way the ball come out, people talking about his ball, his arm accuracy and stuff. I was looking like his arm strength. Like, where's the arm strength at? Because they were talking about how Brad Holmes loved the way the ball was coming out his hands. When he was at his pro days coming out. I'm like, bro, I really never seen him have the arm that they talk about, bro. Never. I be looking like I don't be really seeing what y'all see. I don't see Flacco, Cam Newton type of power, Stafford's type of power. Maybe I'm not the smartest dude in the world, but I don't see it. And that was just me. But you got a few ways that you can handle this, right? And I'm gonna give you the ways that you can handle free agency, and I'm gonna give you both ways, right? Well, it's a few ways. Then I'm gonna give you my opinion, right? So these are the receivers that's going to be available, right? You see them. And you got a couple guys on that's gonna be on this list that probably gonna miss some time next year, which I would not let them come back from an ACL injury. I just let them sit out the year. I'll just on the side of caution, which I'm not saying that I'm right. I'm really, really right or I'm wrong. I'm just saying that's just what I would do. Um, but you see some guys here, man. There's some good names up there, man. Some legendary names up there. When you look at guys like Devontae Adams, you know what I'm saying. When you look at guys like Chris Godwin, who's gonna be one of those guys who got an ACL. Allen Robinson, you know what I'm saying? Will Fuller, who really ain't done much since Houston. Jameson Crowder, T.Y. Hilton, legendary. Juju Smith Jr., Emmanuel Sanders, still doing it. AJ Green, Keelan Cole, Sammy Watkins, Mike Williams. I mean, Jakeem Grant. So you got guys up and down. Michael Gallup somewhere on this list. Odell Beckham. Michael Gallup had tore his leg up, so he's somewhere on this list too. So I don't know if Jerry gonna bring him back, Pam. Bring him back. Michael Gallup, B26, tore his leg up. So you got guys up and down. Russell Gage, really good slot guy, young. Got guys up and down this list who you got high value guys. You got some low guys who have high value like Marquez Scantley, Valdez Scantley, Russell Gage. But I mean, I just feel they got too many slot receivers already for Russell Gage. But good football player, underrated. Another Packers receiver, my Ross St. Brown brother. Um, Michael Gallup, he gonna miss a year. I mean, but I think the Lions are looking for a number one guy. McGallop can be the guy that stretched the field, and you can let Reynolds stretch the Reynolds kind of be your everything. Guy Reynolds can stretch the field, do a little bit underneath. Amon Ra underneath, so that would work if Gallup was healthy. Somebody can get down the field, stretch the field, and everybody else work underneath. But I just don't think they do a good enough job of letting T.J. Hockenson stretch the field on the post or running on the fly in the seams. That's one thing I don't like about how to use Hockenson. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, Gallup, if he was healthy, I mean, this DeAndre Carter kid, he had a solid year this year. Somebody that you could look at as a value guy. So with the Sacramento State, Ty Sharp, no, Ray Cloud. So but the main guys that include Raymond, we might bring him back as return guy. He played pretty good at receiver. Demir Birdsall, but the guys you're looking at kind of mainly on this list is that probably at the number one spot, probably Odell, which he old. So I'm just saying as far as being the number one, he proven himself. You're looking at Mike Williams, Devontae Adams, Allen Robinson, Chris Godwin, more of a slot guy. So maybe you're looking at Will Fuller, but he been falling off. So those are guys you're looking at, or Juju. You can probably get away with Juju being your number one receiver. But he like to go inside and outside. But as far as like number ones, Robinson, Adams, they both go on the inside, but they primarily outside. And Williams, you look 27 years old. Williams had a lot of injury history. He missed some games this year. But somebody that you be looking for, they go down the field, get more opportunities, but he splits on with Keenan Allen. You look at Devontae Adams, almost 30. Good football player, gonna pay a lot of money for these guys, and Allen Robinson. And they all around the 30 mark. Seeing Godwin blew his leg up, Gallup blew his leg up. Godwin more of a slot guy. Slot guy. Think about Gallup. He's somebody who can stretch the field. Now, if you look at you have to pay a lot of those guys good money too. Hold on, let's see. With the raw receivers in the draft, right? So, I mean, obviously, we talked about last night and where we talked about it last night and where how you can turn, like if you're going for a quarterback next year, right? Where you have to take some capital this year and transfer it to next year. Because you really plan on being that high again in the draft? You know what I'm saying? You really got to be number one or two for a quarterback. And also, we talked about if you did take Willis, people said, well, what about everything else you need? You could take some capital that you got already on the team and turn it into another first round pick. I mean, we talking about DeAndre Swift. I hate when I say trade Swift, but it's just the honest truth. We talking about trading a guy like Swift. He ain't never healthy. I mean, it's just my opinion, all right? I like Reynolds. You could trade Williams, Jamal Williams, really with Reynolds taking over and Jefferson flashing a little bit. I think you get away with, especially with the line potentially being healthy next year. Talking about Hockenson, if you're not going to use and abuse Hockenson, why pay him $15 million a year? I like to keep Hockenson, but at the end of the day, he got a contract coming up after this coming season. And you're not getting the most out of him. You know what I'm saying? You're not getting the most out the less in my PMC voice. I mean, so there's some guys, right then and there that you could package and turn into capital. You know what I'm saying? You could package it the 32nd, 31st pick and move up. You just get a first round pick out of the guys. You could turn them to multiple seconds, thirds, and take them and get a first round pick. or get a first round pick next year. So, there's guys on the team that, that you could move. People just think Swift is the people say, well, you hating on Swift because he dropped the pass. Nah, I just see that he ain't never healthy, bro. He not a workout. He not a bell cow. And eventually his contract coming up in a couple of years. They love him, but when Dan Campbell kept running him into the ground, he gave him all them carries. He got knocked out the game. That's just the honest truth. So if you're not going to utilize TJ Hawkinson and abuse him, why pay him $15 million? You take them and turn them into first round and some. People we don't win with. We lose all these games. When I explained last night, out of the 6 whatever wins we had, like DeAndre Swift ain't been in most of the wins the Lions had in the last 2 years. Think about that for a minute. He was here just for the Green Bay win this year. We won that because Aaron Rodgers, had knocked up the number 1 seed. No other win he was part. A lot of wins with Stafford down the stretch. He lost. Yeah, Stafford had last year. We lost. So yeah, like he a winning player. He not. Good player, fast, quick, one of the most explosive players on the team, definitely. But he's a glorified scat bag, and that's just my opinion on it. Not saying it's a fact, but it is what it is. But you can take some of those guys and end up with another pick. You probably end up with one of the guys that y'all want, Jordan Davis, David Ajabo. If you get high enough, you probably can end up with a receiver. I mean, also with another with Kyle Hamilton. You know what I'm saying? You got Daxton Hill, Hamilton, like most people love, but at the end of the day, you gotta look at it, bro. Quarterback position is just too important to ignore. And that Willis don't have to come in and start whoever you get. You just clean up the mechanics, clean up everything, go through defense. Somebody say he can't read defense. They always say that about black quarterbacks. I think Stafford can read defense. He survived in Detroit for 12 years. You look at LA, he can't read defense still. So like I said before, I don't understand it. But you look at some of the receivers, they rank Drake London number 1. A lot of people don't believe that. They rank Garrett Wilson 5. Or I don't know. My bad. 2 and Jameson. 3, somebody said with Jameson is gonna come back next year from a torn ACL. I'm not spending. Only time I'm thinking about guys coming back from ACL injuries and he's really, really good, I'm like into the second round. That's it. Into the second, third is when I think about taking guys with injuries. And people say he'll play next year. I really wouldn't even rush him into. I really wouldn't want to rush him next year. In my opinion, I wouldn't want to rush him. I let him blue red shirt. Him and Robert. Him and that Meacham cat. Think about Robert Meacham. I wouldn't rush them guys. They don't even have Meacham on this. Oh, there you go. He's 6. That's somebody I'd be targeting. Honestly, this is a guy I target with. When the third round come around, I got a couple, picks around. I think compensatory picks around third and fourth. He's a Canadian native too. Okay, that's cool. Then I would think about, but I don't think their list is accurate at all. To be honest, bro. I don't know why a lot of people don't have Drake London number 1. But like I said before, looking at this here, bro. I do some homework. I like Taylor Burr, so it's value in the draft. I seen Dotson going pretty high. Some David Bell's pretty. I think him in the first or second round grade on some. So the kid from Georgia, the Pickens guy who came back from the injury. So you got value. You got value, bro. You got value. There's value up and down this board. So you literally can lead this draft with 2 receivers and feel good. Late first, second, third, fourth. I mean, Mitchell might be around late. I mean, he might go into the 4th, depending on how his rehab going, or how his healing going. So you might get him in the 3rd, one of your compensatory picks, or in the 4th, depending on when they come. So you might end up with Meacham in the, and then you take somebody in the 2nd or late first, whatever you like. But the 40 time gonna separate these guys. You know what I'm saying? You might want to take a flyer on Jameson Williams if he's there in the 3rd or 4th. So they got options, bro. There's a lot of options here, man, and it's gonna be interesting. But I need a number 1 guy. Number 1 guy is not subjected to height. You know what I'm saying? Can you go out there on the island and beat a guy and win 1-on-1? And this is probably the guy to watch, this Garrett Wilson guy. You know what I'm saying? It's probably a guy to watch. If he run pretty good, he probably gonna shoot up there. So I mean, they got a lot of options. They got to just take away number 1. Number 1 don't have to be tall. He don't have to be 6'5", jump ball receiver per se. Jamar Chase isn't that guy, but so pretty much those are out. Then you talk about trading for guys. Okay, this is your last option. You talk about trading for guys that may be available. Okay, and you look and you say, well, who can be available here? I mean, honestly, obviously, pretty much. I'm not sure. Corlin Sutton might be available on the Broncos. I thought he was a free agent. Let's double check. Court. I thought Corlin Sutton. Maybe I passed him in free agency. I thought he was a free agent. Hold on, with the SMU. Let's look at him. He might be a guy I think with an opportunity, with a better quarterback, which I'm not sure. I'm not sure Goff is anywhere near upgrade. So yeah, he signed. Yeah, his deal is still going, bro. Yep, his deal's still going. So I don't know if they gave him a new deal. I thought he was a free agent. He don't make a little bit of nothing for the last 4 years. He came out in 2018. So apparently, hold on. Apparently, he signed a new deal. It's really really cheap. He make 2.1. He make 1.5 next year. He got a big cap hit though, so maybe he got a big signing bonus. So he got good cap hit. So yeah, his money started to kick in pretty soon. So you get him right now for 1.5 base salary right now. Then next year jump up to 14. So I mean this year you look at what he did. You look at what he done. 58 receptions, 776 yards, 2 touchdowns. So, but I think somebody like Cortland Sutton, bro, who's very underrated. Just giving him another opportunity. I think that he can blossom. I mean, any other guys out there, I really don't know on it, on this, but I also think about a guy in New Orleans and Michael Thomas, traded for a receiver, maybe Robbie Anderson, not getting that much play. So, you could either trade for a guy, you either can sign one of free, so you could draft the guy. But if you asking me, like, what I'm doing, is just too much value in the draft, bro. It's too much. Too much value in the draft, bro. Too much. You should walk away with two receivers. You gotta take a chance. On one of the injured guys, and Beecham and Alabama boys or Jameson, whatever thing name is. I think if they dare at the late second, you want to move back up third. I think you got to just take a flyer one of them. And I say if it's Drake London, if it's Traylon, if it's a lot of Slob or one or Garrett Wilson. If Garrett Wilson is a guy that you can move up and get, or a guy that you think about it number two, if he run pretty good, I think it's a wrap. I think he gonna go top five just based off the chart Jamar Chase effect. So, and I said number one, and then I said Goff didn't have no receivers last year, so give him a number one guy and see what happened. We know what's gonna happen. He a bum. So, but like I said before, he run well. Some of these other guys run well, run bad. It's gonna be a lot of movement. People interview bad. Character, background checks gonna be ran. So like I said, a lot gonna change. But if he run good, everything else check out. This dude gonna creep into that top 5, 7 Jets, Giants, Houston type of range right there. Even Detroit type of range. He run well. So Malik Willis, he crushing the Senior Bowl. But then again, we got other interviews. We got 40 times. We got pro days and stuff of that nature. He can injure himself in his pro day or whatever it may be. So that's a lot. And when you see the juniors and everything under a senior that or guys who are gonna come to the Senior Bowl, you see them come, it's gonna be interesting. But my thing would be, I would just take two guys, bro. I bring back Reynolds. I ride around the middle. If I can get Wilson or Drake London, Traylon, or one of the guys, in the second round, or if I get him at the end of the first, I can move back and get him, or I take him however it go. Around the third, I probably think about Meacham or kid from Alabama, which I think he might go, or the kid from Georgia. I start thinking about those two. I would. So I'm more probably walk away with two receivers, guys that's injured, and then guys that's healthy. So three injury guys are the Pickens school, whatever his name from Georgia. I'm probably look at him, Meacham, the kid from Alabama, Jameson Wilson too. Look at him in start looking at them in the third round, right around the third. I start looking at them, and then we'll go from there. But that's just my opinion. Let me know what you girls and guys think in the comment section. Check out Detroit Lions Talk playlist for more videos like this. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, and subscribe button is the bell icon button. Hit all notifications. Appreciate the notification. Go live and drop a video. Appreciate everybody that watched the live last night. But let me know what you girls and guys think in the comment section. And my thing will be I'll draft a couple guys. That's it. I'm gonna pay some of those older receivers on second contracts. I mean, it's hard. You don't pay free agent running backs, and I think it's pretty close seconds. You don't pay free agent receivers, especially around that age. Just my opinion. So if I did pick off the tree, um, the free agent would probably be Mike Williams. I did trade for somebody, probably Cortland Sutton. If I did draft somebody to be announced, I gotta watch some of the tape. But hey, let me know what you think in the comments.